Here she is. Wind vane, swim ladder, wheel steering, only a depth sounder, no automatic pilot, new winches, and a full new paint job. She's a Cape Dory cutter rig, so she's got a mainsail, 12-meter mast, a cutter boom for a smaller self-tacking staysail or jib, and then on front we're furling for a Genoa, but it's been difficult, it's been acting up. I need to do something about it. And then we've only got an analog way of seeing where the wind is coming from. Not a very digital yacht. We do got AIS, but you've got to get inside to see where everybody's coming from. Yeah, it's a passion project for sure. We've removed some plastic fence by bronze ones, so in the back and there you can put one on, but currently there's just a cover to make sure it doesn't rain inside, which I should have done here as well. The Netherlands, rain, rain, rain. You can see the boat is big enough for me. I can just stand or lie down or go anywhere. When I go forward, there's still just enough room. So we once had a plague of wasps coming into the boat, and my solution to the problem was to use this kind of sticky self-adhesive material and a cutout of webbing, which would then stop the annoying wasps from getting in. There was a wasp nest in this boat, which is located right next to us, and the marina got the boat out to eliminate the wasps, but somehow half of the colony was trying to get back, and they thought our boat was that boat, and then they were coming through these cow vent holes, and I was in the boat and had to kill like, I don't know, 50, 60 wasps. It was no fun, and we missed a week or two of our sailing season because of this. But now there's a structural solution to anything trying to get in, and it's been working out fine. We also use another cover for the hatch in the back, so that we can sleep and get some air inside, but no bugs. So yeah, this is my first model. It's just stick and glue, cut it to size. We'll make a new version when this one breaks. And this is then a quarter berth, some shells that Elise put into a nice accessory. Makes the boat look more boaty, doesn't it? So the quarter berth, always filled with stuff. This needs to go back up to, it doesn't need to be inside the boat. This needs to be outside the boat, and the idea is that we can use this and put that around the backstay and pull it up. But I de-rigged it. I need to put it back on somehow, but I don't recall how. We'll find it out. And so this is used to be an ice box. I put in a compressor. I glassed the insides and put in foam to make sure it would isolate very well, since it's located next to the engine. And we rarely have to put it on extreme settings. It really does the job well. And I just need to make sure that it closes a bit better, but I'm happy about it. This is the top. I've laminated on top. Our diesel stove, compressor and some supplies. So she's charging with these chargers that's behind the cabinet. Can use this for a laptop, but I need to redecorate all of it. It's a mess. It looks like an Italian race car. We need to redo this, fill all these old voids and screw holes, give it a paint job, redo this cabinetry, reroute the electrics or electronics, and make it look better, more manageable, and free up some space for things like food, which we now keep here below the diesel cook stove, the Wallace diesel heater, which actually doubles, but we rarely use it to heat the boat, the inside, but you can use this cook stove. When you put this down, it puts on a fan and it will disperse heat in between the slot through the room. And as we've got no diesel heater, it's the only way for us to heat the boat. We also got an electric heater stored somewhere in the back, but we're not using it. There used to be a marine head right there and 2 holes through the boat for Spartan sea cocks, so you could pump out anything that would be in the head. But the problem was the Spartan sea cocks weren't working anymore. Water was seeping and dropping into the boat, and when you would put them to close, the toilet would backfill. Even so that when you were sailing, it would backfill up until the level of the head rim, and when you would go, sail on an angle, a sailor's life, it would cast water inside the boat. So it wasn't very hygienic or nice. It looked terrible. It was difficult. It's just, a way more easy system. We still got the sail loft. You don't hook to anything. You can just sail loft. Say it like it's a big area, but you can just put this away where it needs to be. When you're sailing, this goes into the cabinets. It's only for when you want to remove anything. You can pump out via this hose. So it's emergency bilge pump attached to the urine day tank. After a day, we would fill this one and just throw it overboard or in a designated area. It's a fine vessel. She needed a lot of love, still needs a lot of love. An oldie but a goldie. Yeah, this one is leaking. There's moisture coming out of this window. You can see it shine and glitter. There's no water supposed to be coming through there, so this needs to be redone. The idea is that we'll once sand all of this, fill it up, and give it a thorough paint job. It's a winter or spring job, but not essential now. And I have to sort this one out, as this is still a bit loose. It's not flying anywhere when we're under sail, but it's not the best solution. This used to be a cow vent, but it's been glassed over on top. We just need to glass this, give it a thorough paint job. We want to remove these because we we never hold on to these. The boat is so narrow that you can always, touch left or right. You will never fall over. It's not a 40-foot boat. It's narrow, it's small, you can always keep your hand attached to something, whether it's a table, a cabinet, or just a side. It's not that far. Look, this works out great. We don't need those. We're gonna remove them and then glass over it and give the top sides a new coat of paint. And we want to get rid of, little dents, scratches. But it's a nice to have. The first mission we had was to make this boat waterproof. And we've done that by glassing over the whole deck joint. Recoring the deck. And that worked out well. There used to be drops coming in from behind the wood, going all the way into the bilge, from the whole deck joint behind the engine and drip in under the oil pan, just rise up and then flow into the bilge. So we had to run our bilge pump a lot. Now we rarely ever do. Maybe when we've sailed and there was a hatch open or anything in there, but there's not really anything coming out. There's a little bit of water in there, but it's basically empty. So I don't think it's in a bad state. So next projects will be to make this a bit more neat, get rid of old holes. There's a couple of hundred of them in the boat. So there's the ones here, the ones below. Looks like fungi, but it isn't. It's just people drilling holes over time, relocating their AIS or whatever, thinking of grand locations to put them, but then rethinking the approach, or potentially even looking for holes in water. So there's quite some filling and fairing to do and painting. I don't look forward to that. We might just remove all this wood actually. It looks great on camera, but it's... Okay, this side is pretty good, but here it's all mushy, squeaky, pretty old. When we renovated the boat... Oh, let me put on the flash. So when the boat was being renovated, we put out the port lights, and our Menno, the gentleman who helped us, then cut out the form of the ports and reattached them. And the reason why is when he was first trying to attach them with the wood in between, everything was cracking up. So in the end, it's now a connection to the real fiberglass behind the wood. And we were hoping it would have been a better seal. Somehow we only did that on this side of the boat, so the starboard side. And as you can see, in some places it's harder and way more destructive than it was on another one. And I don't mind for the looks, but we'll get rid of the wood and we'll repaint everything, get rid of these, redo the roof. But on this side, he attached them to the wood. So the only thing we'll be able to do is cut around, keep the wood in between the ports, the port lights and the fiberglass, and then paint the fiberglass behind. So there's options. The neatest thing would be if we could somehow redo them, but it seems to be a lot of work, and this holds up, so you can see that right here. There's wood between the bronze ports and the fiberglass, and there's no leaks so far today on this side. So that looks good. It's pretty dry, which is a good sign, and I can live with that. You can maybe sand it a bit more so that you don't notice, and maybe put some epoxy around it. A lot of holes to fill. I have no fiberglass skills, except in making that freezer. This used to be a very moldy cow vent, and now I've found a bronze fitting and a bronze vent with a cup that I can close it off, and I'm very happy about that because it used to rain inside here, then leak through here, below this, I don't know what you would call this, behind here, on top of the wood of the cabinetry, inside the cabinets, and then it would just get moldy and destroy the wood from the inside out. I don't know if I want to keep these cabinets. We might make a V-berth out of this, or keep it as a head. We're not sure. You could shower here, and there's a drain going to the bilge, but then you're putting all kinds of material in the bilge, and I don't want anything in the bilge. I want the bilge to be dry. So this will just probably either become a V-berth or remain a head and a sail loft, because I do want to keep the quarter berth. Maybe make this a full box that we can use it to store charts on top, but more material below, and then do chart work here next to the AIS, and remove this piece since it limits the amount of people that can sleep there. And anyway, when we want to store things there, we'll put it to the back, and you can snugly fit in. So I've got a brand new Beta Marine engine, 14 horsepower. That was the interior tour of this Cape Dory 30 cutter, a project boat. It's been that for years, will be so for a while.